Okay. So just tell us a little bit about yourself, like who you are and your background and your culture.
Okay, well, my name is Garfield Bright. Currently, I'm a student at Georgia State University, a doctoral student. I'm also, educational policy studies is my field, my trajectory. Just looking at how black males navigate inequitable power structures. I'm looking at schools and I'm looking at the entertainment industry. So there's that. I have a master's degree in African American studies. I'm also in a singing group called SHAI, platinum group from the 90s, and still doing a lot of stuff. And got some new projects and stuff coming out. And it's kind of like a dichotomous life, but it's cool. I love it. Keeps me going. But consciously and spiritually, we went to Howard. I was always an activist type. I've always been a part of social movement type of things. Black Nia Force, the mayor of New Jersey, Ras Baraka. When he went to Howard, he was the leader of our group. We took over the A building because Lee Atwater, KKK was trying to get into school and we weren't having it as students, and we protested and got tear gassed, but we still got our demands met. So I've always been a part of that. I was in the nation, and I've always eaten, since I was 17, 16, I stopped eating beef and pork just on me. I just felt like that ain't food, When I grew up and started learning about it, I realized it, why. And I was like, yeah, I'm glad I did that, But my consciousness kept going. I met the great Resort Ayana, and she kept me at it, Now, I went through my stages of pescatarianism and vegetarianism and stuff like that. But now I'm finally just vegan. I've been vegan for a couple of years now again. The first 9 years of my life I was a vegan and didn't know it. My parents told me, hey, you were a vegan. So I guess that's why my muscle memory was always able to kind of like get with it, because, but it's so much better. My stomach never has those little pains in it no more from eating meat. I never knew that's what it was from. People have this diverticulitis, whatever that thing is, and all that stuff doesn't even have to happen at all. So it's like, wow. So I'm feeling good. I'll be 49. I feel like I look good, you know what I'm saying? But being vegan is dope. I just like it. It's simple. I'm basic anyways, and it just works for me.
Okay, so how do you handle social situations, like when you're out and with friends or whatever, and they're not vegan?
Food-wise? Mm-hmm. Oh man, they all know what it is with me anyways. And sometimes I just abstain. If it ain't nothing for me to eat, I just, And then too, I'm used to fasting and stuff, my days in the nation. Like, food is not like, I love good food, don't get me wrong, but it don't drive me. Like, I can not eat and be okay because I fast, It's how you thinking, I guess, you know what I mean? If I'm not feeling like I'm struggling and I hadn't eaten, then I don't think chemistry-wise my body's gonna be mad at me. It's only when you stressing out, I ain't no food, and then, some other stuff. But food, as long as when I do eat, I eat good stuff in my body, I'm feeling good about that. You know what I mean? So in social situations, you got good friends, they'll try to find you vegan options anyways, because they know what it is. This restaurant, I think they got some vegan options, G. And they'll tell me the side orders that they got on there that I can probably mess with. And that's cool, I'll mess with a couple of carbs, mashed potatoes, just plain, but no, whatever else. A lot of times they got good garlic, sauteed garlic on there. I'll be getting with that. The garlic, sauteed spinach, the garlic on it and stuff. I'll get with that, And even little dumb stuff like Burger King fries, believe it or not, are vegan. Like, you know what I mean? So you really gotta just break all the way down to some just trash. That kind of trash is what I deal with.
So vegan junk food.
Yeah, I know all the stuff that's like, when I do have to be whatever, that's still vegan, and I'm like, oh man, So.
Okay, there is a stigma that comes with being vegan in many cultures that are led to believe that the diet lifestyle is not for certain cultures. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't believe that at all. I think that's the most ridiculous shit I ever heard. Excuse my language. I feel like, look at your teeth. They ain't sharp and pointy. Look at your digestive juices in there. That culture in there is not made to, like, really, like lima beans and stuff you damn near can't even absorb. Like, look at the nuts, how they do in you. I eat nuts in my oatmeal, but that stuff passed through you. Like, look, we're made to be vegan. We're made to be plant-based. Everything points to that. Like, we got some canines. Some people's are sharp. I think ours are sharp. But some people's are dull. It's just made to chew on some plants, man. You ain't supposed to be biting into no beef. Because all the energy that's supposed to be in that beef that you think your body's going to get, like, you're going to use all that energy up trying to break the meat down. And then it's going to rot in your colon. And you're going to get colon cancer. So I just, I'm cool with it. Like, I don't feel stigma. Like, I'm like an independent dude anyway, you know what I mean? Like I always march to my own drum in terms of just life choices like that. So I don't really run into friction, you know, and what ends up happening is like educative moments happen. People see me and be like, "You're a vegan? Man, I've been wanting to do that, but da. So what do you use in place of a hamburger?" and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, yo, I don't do nothing in place of a hamburger. I just eat more spinach and this and that. I love it. Blah, 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 blah. You know, and they can't understand, but you know, whatever. But one day they will, because you know, as they're getting older and they start depreciating, and their internal organs, like especially your stomach acids and stuff, stop. You know, you start developing all that fat around your midsection, just accumulation, mucus. You start getting all those allergy stuff, and I'm chilling. I don't got no allergies. You know what I mean? I'm just cooling out. Like, hey, you gonna find be like, so what is that you're eating again? No, but you know, the food is everything, and I just think it matters that you know I'm not developing mucus every time I take a bite. I don't want that.
Exactly. Hey, there's a lot of rumors out there that people who eliminate meat or dairy from their diets often do not get enough nutrients or protein because of all the food they're from their diet. So what do you think?
Well, if you do any research, and if you got a little critical mindedness like me, you know, almost damn near conspiratorial even, you're going to look at the food pyramid and understand that that's a corporate game to ensure that these products are bought and sold, so at the end of the year, their bottom line is reflected. If they can condition people from 4 years old that you're supposed to have this amount of this, their habits when they go to the grocery store, they're going to always buy this amount of this amount of that, and then corporations are going to always ensure through the habituation and the indoctrination that people feel like that's supposed to be the case. That becomes the normal, and then you're problematized if you don't abide by that, if you're outside of that. I just see that they're programmed, so I already know what that is. Like I try to tell people, some listen, some don't. You know, I give my justification, I put my sources in there because I'm a researcher. But I know what the game is. You know what I mean? People from back in those days, old school, who ate plant-based diets. You know, you got so many Native Americans growing so old. You got Asians that not in the mainstream media that are 180 years old, 190. This dude sold herbs. He was old when certain people knew him and they died, and talked about him being old when they met. You know, it's look, your body responds to. You can live damn near forever if you don't have no mucus in your body, because mucus is the only thing. Like, think about it. When you get sick, you start draining, and when you're getting better, you drain it. Why are you draining? Because the mucus is going out of you with the germs in it.
Exactly.
You're getting better because it's leaving you. So when you accumulate it, it's going to be in you, and it's going to be the attraction. It's like that cute girl in the hood. Like, all the dudes is looking. So if germs is the dudes and mucus is the cute girl in your body, you better believe, attractiveness wise, you're going to have a whole bunch of people checking for that mucus in your body, a whole bunch of germs. So keep it out. Passageway is clear. I don't got all that mucus in my arteries, make my heart beat faster. I'm chilling. You know, I can work out and my blood flowing clear, and I can stay awake later while I'm studying. I can, you know, it's just all good. Like, I don't think I think the stigma is unfounded, and I think people have been programmed and conditioned to believe that. And it's been substantiated by the indoctrination since they were little, that they feel the need to buy these types of foods to satisfy the food groups when Monsanto is just laughing at us, you know, so.
Okay, another myth about eliminating meat and dairy from your diet is that you spend so much on groceries. Is that true?
Well, yeah, it is a little more expensive because they overpriced. Matter of fact, this is game too. Like, Publix be lying to people. They got the organic section, they have the regular section, and blueberries ain't fat like that. You know what I mean? The organic section, all the blueberries and things be that fat. Man, that's not and they put a $10 price tag on that one compared to, you know what I'm saying? So it's expensive, yeah, but it's not supposed to be. Think of the concept of that. Think about being able to grow stuff in nature and just pick it and eat it. Why would that cost money? So in the store it does. So I would suggest, if you're serious about your culture and the permaculture aspect of being a vegan, you might want to invest in a little plot and grow some of your own herbs and your own stuff, and then it won't be so much. Make sure you got real seeds and they're not, fake seeds, but it doesn't have to be expensive. And even if it is a little more, I'd rather pay that price to ensure that my health is secure, and knowing that it actually is, and not some fancy panacea, some magic product. It's actually, like, I understand what's in there. I understand those antioxidants. I understand, understanding what you eat. So yeah, I'd be willing to pay a little more to live longer and be my health be good, and not have all that mucus and clogged arteries, and eyes be all yellow and it's, yeah, I'm cool. I'm good. I'll spend a couple extra dollars, yeah.
Okay. Do you think there will ever be a period of time where we'll see a majority of people of color eliminating meat and dairy from their diets?
I can see that being the time period. It would take a proactive kind of like movement like this, people just in casual conversations to start the ball rolling and really having some founded, answers that really link what you're doing to myth breaking like stuff where they can wrap their head around what we eat, without it being some spooky, fantastic thing. Yeah, once we break those barriers of tradition, as the generations start getting further away from the grandmama and them who still eat the slave food diets and they feel like that's what's healthy, once the time period becomes more modern and the black skinned people kind of like gradually grow away from tradition in that way, this technocratic society and all of those kinds of things with the real quick fixes, the new problem would be they graduated from all that crazy stuff just because of tradition, but now all the synthetic stuff and all that kind of stuff is catching the eye, and that's even worse. So I feel the diminishing returns is going to start coming from these real whack foods that are nothing foods. As those health problems proliferate and become more like ubiquitous in the community, people will start wondering what the hell is going on even more. And if they can put their finger and point to that, people will be okay. Well, and the proof is my parents. My dad was a pig eater from Tennessee. My grandmama ate pig, and she was out, all that. Like she could have lived till she was 100 and something, Dad. You know what I mean? So even him, as he's gotten older, he's 70 something, and he sees me and my mom is like, you look better at 40 something. I remember blah 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 blah. And my dad is like, hey man, because he has health issues. He's like, hey man, that diet, that way that you eat and stuff like that, man, you doing the right thing. Now rewind to take 15 years and me trying to tell him what I'm doing and all that, man, you didn't even hear all that shit. But now that, he's actually letting me know that he understands where I am with it. And he's like, yo, looking at me like it seems to be working, bro. Keep it up. You know what I mean? Right. Because I don't ever get sick. I mean, knock on some wood or something, but I don't ever be like sick. I really don't. I don't. I have maybe one day out of the year, and then some years I miss a year of that. It'd be like 1 or 2 days where something will be a little off and I feel like I just needed to sleep it off. I guess all the toxins finally accumulate, you know what I mean? But other than that, I'm just good. I wake up in the morning, I'm regular, maybe TMI, but shoot, that black seed oil, boy, open up all that stuff. But yeah, now I'm just,
Well, this question ties into that. Do you think there's a connection between health and foods within the black community with health challenges?
Hell yeah. The leading causes of death are all food related. All of them. Like people think murder is the highest. Murder is like number 9 on the list. Like homicide. They got you believing that we kill each other all the time. We don't. Who killing us? Them cooks, them chefs, them restaurants we go to, and at the crib with all that soil and all that meat and mucus. So say the question because I want to answer it specifically. You said.
Okay, so do you think there's a connection between health and food that we consume in black communities when it comes to health challenges?
So all the so we die from cardiovascular, we die from stroke and heart attack, and stuff like upper respiratory tract problems and stuff like that, believe it or not. Yeah, and all of that is mucus related and all of that is food based. All of it. 100% of it. Why? Because our bodies and our DNA is not designed to eat what we call food. That shit is not food. The pig is no food at all. Now, I will go into all that, but think of an animal that does not have pores, and you consuming that. And then think of how it's killed, and then all of the that goes through it, and you eating the meat that got the in it. You know what I mean? So those hormones are preserved just for you to eat the death feeling that it was feeling, and then you got to metabolize that. That's chemical reactions, bro.
Exactly.
So, nah, man, that's not it. Would you eat somebody's hand? I mean, come on now. Well, why would you eat a pig foot? Like, that's ridiculous. I mean, really think about these things.
Right. No, really, it's common sense. So how does the current framework of food justice movement in the United States include or exclude people of color?
Well, most hoods are food deserts. Just ridiculous. So you go to any hood. I used to live in this place called Carver Homes down in downtown Atlanta, and the closest grocery store was like 5 miles away. So if you don't have a car, it's over with for the grocery store. But the particular grocery store that you had as your option was this Kroger that had nothing in stock. It was always run down on Metropolitan, way up the street. That's the only grocery store close to you. The food spots all around you, there was this place called Yum's, which is a takeout, carry-out Chinese food. You already know what that is in terms of the oils and all the craziness over there, saturated fats. And then you got JJ's Chicken from Chicago right next to it. And you already know what that is. Ain't nothing there that is not fried, crazily fried. Then they got a Subway right there. You know what I mean? But Subway and some of the stuff could be alright, some of the stuff is ridiculous. But that's your options, period, all year long. So yeah, most neighborhoods that are black, especially with the gentrification, they're trying to let the community blight anyway, so they can like buy it real cheap and then redo it in the image of whiteness or whatever. But the neoliberal agenda is real. But yeah, black people in food, there's a struggle. There's always food injustice or food racism. I don't know what it's a term for that. Well, one is environmental racism or something like that, where they put the electric lines and the sewage systems in our hoods, whatever that thing is. But the food piece is that too, and it totally, it's a total correlative, because we're gonna be poor, we're gonna buy the 99-cent menu, get the fake chicken in our system off that thing, because it could get you full and cost 99 cents, but it's some cardboard combination or something up in there, whatever that is. The bun probably stay that way for 3 years if you left it in the closet. And it's like, so that kind of stuff, it's sad to say we eat because we can get full off of it, and it's cheap. But it's taking 4 or 5 years of our life every 30 days, you know what I mean? So yeah, there's a definite correlation between city planning, the structure of the city, the population where it is, and what kind of foods are accessible to us. Which is why we have to grow our own foods. We have to simplify growing our own foods and create a permaculture kind of piece where we have rooftop gardens. There's no reason why there shouldn't be trees proliferating. If you really had a city planning that was humane and not based so much on stratification, why isn't a vision of anybody, if the climate is working, to where fruit trees ain't all over the city, just everywhere. Any homeless dude can just wake up and pick a peach off of a tree somewhere, or eat a blackberry, or like, come on. Why wouldn't civilized people wouldn't create that as their way of being civilized? Why wouldn't you? So, because you want to sell it, you know what I mean? Come on with that. Why are we paying for big old bottles of water, alkaline? Like, water is not free in life. Like, come on, man. You know what I mean? So it's these real fundamental programmed ways of being that are like killing us too. Like, our thought process is locked inside of even the smartest of us. The beginning, middle, end of the thought. Like, if thoughts were a photon of light, like light is a packet. If thought was a packet, the clothing of that packet is not a natural way of thinking. It's a programmed way of thinking that has become conflated with naturalness. So we'll really go to the store and get water. Like what? Like, I used to be a kid back in Tennessee, man. And after the basketball court, there used to be these spring water creeks, man. I used to take my little jug out there. It'd be cold coming from the mountains and through the rocks and all that. And it'd be, fill it up and just be, yeah. So now you got to pay like $8 for a bottle of alkaline water that's really good, you know what I mean, with a pH that's going to keep your body right. Like, that's crazy. Right. That's the stuff we got to do. We got to be vigilant against what's out there that's taking us the other direction of unlifeness, So, yeah, it's like, it's a ridiculous thing that we have to like do so many things just to create a natural ecological unity with ourselves and nature, but the stores are in between that, you know what I mean? And black folks don't even have stores to go to. So they got to buy the little out their pocket and spend these, buy fried foods and harden their arteries after they're 25 years old. Every day, kids eat McDonald's and that's all they can afford, and then, they think they got to eat meat. So they get the cheapest of grades of the meat, and it's just a bad cycle. But we just don't know too. It's education-wise. They think something wrong with me because I'm not eating that meat that they got. Boy, you just ain't healthy, man. You gonna, like, oh my God, you just don't realize that you're not healthy. So it's just, with time will tell. Time will show and prove that that's not the way. You know what I mean? And the consciousness is awakened. I can feel it. People are curious who probably wouldn't be curious before, even though they're not necessarily trying to be vegan, but they are trying to figure out, like, so that's versus mine. So what's better about, they're kind of curious. And as long as that seed is planted, I think over time it'll germinate. And people start understanding. Especially going to these family reunions, going to their class reunions, and they seeing all their friends 500 pounds, and the ones that eat right, looking all pretty with the glowing skin and all, even if it's just a superficial base level thing like that, people are like, damn, and you one of them vegans? Man, she look good. I'm over here, I got, inner tubes around my waist and stuff. So if it's just vain like that, black people, we vain, we want to look good. So if that is correlated to our diet, finally people start getting that, they'll start eating right, even if it's just for that.
Very good. Okay, so being in the music industry, has your diet lifestyle affected you in any way? If so, how do you manage it all?
I mean, you just know going into it when you go places that they're not gonna have anything that you want or can eat. So, you default when you get on the road to certain things that are probably not your optimum things, but are definitely not going to compromise what you believe in your eating pattern. So you probably get the worst version of stuff that's good for you on the road. You just got to understand that, or bring some stuff, or call ahead and see what the options are. Like a good road manager would do that and stuff like that. But, I mean, it's a little more difficult, but after you just start navigating life being a vegan, you start knowing where you can go, what you need to get, who has what, and you kind of, over time put the pieces together and create a little flow for yourself. So the road really doesn't, it really doesn't impact me. Maybe when I first became a vegan and I didn't understand where to go and this, but now I just, and like I said, there's nothing wrong with abstaining when you need to. Like, I'm cool with that too, like for real. I'm just not gonna just eat because everybody eating. I just chill, I'll wait till I get something. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I just, like everybody ain't gonna have no Ezekiel bread and, all the little, stuff that I deal with, like avocado. Like, I love avocado toast, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes. So I just be looking for some simple stuff like, at the grocery store, they'll have an avocado. It might not be organic.
Make guacamole.
But I'll make me some guac. Or I'll just crush up my little avocado.
Salt and pepper.
Spread it on some toast. You know what I mean? And I'm good. I'm full. They eat their bagel and cream cheese. I'm eating my avocado toast. It's all good. So, we figure it out. And plus, now, 2018, going forward, there are more places that are amenable to the vegan lifestyle. It's growing now. The consciousness is out there. If anything, we got to be careful about the same way when the terms organic and all natural first came out and people got tricked by that, because those wasn't really saying anything. Now we're going to have to start really understanding, even in the vegan lifestyle, the lies that are out there, that stuff is, is that really, what I mean? Did Monsanto grow that?
Right.
So, like, you have to really start seeing what that is. That's going to be our new dilemma. But nah, being in the group SHAI, I'm good. Because I'm simple anyway. I don't, like, even when I do eat, it's like 2 or 3, things on my plate that I like. And I'm going to eat enough of that to be full, and I'm cool. I don't have to have like the crazy variety all over the place. Every night is some new. I'm cool with knowing that the thing that I'm eating not only is going to get me full, but I'm going to digest it great, and it's going to actually add to my body. Like, I throw quinoa and all kind of little stuff because I can't taste quinoa, but I know the fact that it's in there, it's good for me. I'm going to put it in there. Like my soups from the crock pot, I throw quinoa all up in that stuff, man. I don't even know if I ever see it. I just know it's in there. I'm good, Or like some flax seeds. I don't be tasting that flax seed in my little crock pot stuff, but I put a couple of little things in there, and it cooks in there, and with the rest of the stuff that's in there, and I got some flax seeds in my system, you know what I mean? I'm good, So I'm like that, I'm just not really tripping that much.
Okay, so do you feel as a man it seems harder to begin the journey towards a vegan lifestyle?
The hardness and simpleness, that kind of thing, if you look at it in those terms, it's not really gender specific. It's just your mental. How you approaching this thing, what you think you're doing. And are you a person that once you understand something is good or bad, can you just, because of that as your justification, just switch to it? I can. I'm one of the people that once I understand and see the light, no matter if I've been doing something for years, once I realize that that's it, later for the other thing, in 1 minute, it's over. Right? I don't have to have some segue. Like when I got married, I didn't get engaged first. I knew she was the person I was trying to marry. When I popped the question, then we got married. Like, I don't understand people that be trying to get married and be taking 3 years, and they said they popped the question 3 years ago. Like, I don't believe in those midpoint things. Like, when it's evident let's move out. And so that's not gender specific to me. That's like consciousness specific, and just being open-minded and understanding that there's never one static way of really maneuvering. So when you come into contact with ways that seem to be justifiably better, for lack of a better word, than what you've been doing, you need to be open-minded to that and move out. Especially if it's making total sense and just lay it out. Don't be fighting that. Move out. Quit eating your meat. Meat ain't good for you. You got mucus in it. You can't break the meat down. You're gonna get colon cancer from it eventually, and then you know that mucus is gonna bring all the diseases that enter your body and keep them in there, and then multiply them. Just because you got mucus. Meat. Leave it alone.
Okay, so what you just said about being married. So, you know, when you were married, was she plant-based too?
Yeah, it helps.
Or
Like that's the main thing. Like she and I both kind of had that consciousness together, and I think if that wasn't the case, that would have been hard. It's hard, like a husband and wife, or boyfriend, girlfriend, that spent all that time eating together and being together, and it's time, and y'all on two different pages with that. That's not gonna work. I mean, you know, if your love can conquer all of them, don't let me discourage people. What I'm saying, compatibility, that part being on point is part of compatibility in that situation. Like the lifestyle, your mate gotta, like, you know, that part has to be on point. You know, it's gonna be hard to have a woman that's cooking pork in the kitchen and you plant-based. Yeah, that's just, for me, that would never work. I couldn't even be in the house. So, you know what I mean? Like, I know that might sound extreme to some people, like, oh God, get over it, it's just a bacon. I'm like, no, that smell killing me. I can't even. You know what I mean? But so, yeah, I'm just, you know, so yeah, it would just help for me to have somebody that just eats like me. And, you know, and usually, you know, women, like, if there is some gender stuff to it, like the woman's version of being vegan, they got doper ways of it, preparation and all. Like, I'm so simple and plain, like I eat the same. So when I see a young lady or a woman who actually is vegan and we kind of politic and link up for a couple of minutes, you know, and eat some food, if she brings some food to the thing, it's gonna have better seasonings, it's gonna have some stuff on the side, it's gonna, you know, it's gonna be stuff to it more than what I would have done that I actually like, you know what I mean? It's gonna be better quality than what I, you know, so that's cool. Her kale salad, there's gonna be more trimmings and what things, it's gonna, you know, my kale salad was just like, or whatever, you know, it was there. So, you know, so that helps. Yeah, it definitely helps.
okay, so is there anything partners can do, especially women partners, to convince our men that eating plant-based is actually good?
Well, the way that question is set up, it makes it seem like, according to your research, it's the men that are resistant to this plant-based thing. Maybe because they're bigger in a lot of cases.
Well, not resistant, is that stigma, like, to where, like you just said, I'm big and, you know, I need to eat steak or burgers all the time.
I guess people who probably their identity is based on, you know, their size is kind of like their thing, like in their mind.
Or it's not manly.
Yeah, I never even thought of it being not manly or a girl. I never even thought about a certain way to eat being, it didn't like the food is pink or something. Like I was, you know, that way is better for your body. It's better for your internal body. Like, you can do some push-ups and some dips and keep your, you know, I work out, I keep my, you know, my shape is cool, I got a six-pack and all that, you know what I mean? But whatever, I could have had a six-pack even with eating meat, you know what I mean? Because I just work out. But I don't predicate my walking around this on how much I weigh like that. Like, that don't define me as a dude. I'm me as a dude. Like, it's other nuances to me that's fly in my mind, you know what I mean? I got a mind, I think, I analyze, you know, I bring something to the table in that way for me in terms of my swag, you know what I mean? Like, that's, you know, the way I see the world is my strength to me, you know what I mean? So how big I am or all that, whatever. I'm a man. I don't, you know, and size don't mean nothing to me anyways, like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't need all that extra ballooned out, puffed upness coming from them, you know, fake steroids that you get in your food and stuff like that, like, you know, estrogen and that soy and all that. Like, I don't be dealing with soy. I'm not trying to grow no breasts, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it ain't no gender thing to me. I never looked at eating like this as like women do that. Like, I never thought about it like that at all. I never saw it like that at all.
But some men do.
Well, I do this to you. For the men that think like that, LL Cool J, that's one example of a vegan that I know who went vegan, who's this manly man, like, you know, hip hop head, Queensbridge, big diesel dude, ladies, you know what I'm saying? That's a vegan right there, you know what I mean? So, you know, or plant-based guy. I don't know if, you know, if you respect animals like that, whatever. But plant-based dude, he work out, do his weights, he still keep his diesel. You know what I mean? It's on you. You know, like dudes, look, you want to be getting prostate cancer, colon cancer, your lady gonna outlive you, you know, and you gonna be all messed up early, and you getting that husky face look because, you know, you don't even realize it's all that meat accumulating over the years, and, you know, around your eyes getting fat, and you don't understand why your face contort, but you just accept it, and you getting husky around the neck and all that. You know, you might still be in shape looking too, but your whole cast is like huskier. And you think it's just age, oh, it's my grown man. But nah, boy, that's food that you're dealing with. Stop that food, take some black seed oil. When you start detoxing and lose that, you'll end up being your cut up cheekbone self again like you was when you was younger. You know what I mean? It's still possible. You ain't gotta just let that go, be, you know what I mean? Nah, you ain't gotta be looking like that, just thinking that you're in your grown man stage. Nah, you fat, your face is distorted, and you ain't gotta look like that. You know what I mean? You don't gotta be like that. So cut that stuff out. Understand what your system is telling you to do. Yo, you be going to sleep with sharp stomach pains because you ate that meat and all that stuff, and your body trying to break it down, and you think that's just life. No, I don't have none of those feelings at all. And in the morning, I get up and do what I gotta do. I'm telling you, man, look, and my day is great from there. I feel like I can do the moonwalk. It's now, matter of fact, I started seeing certain NFL teams. There's some brothers who vegan, and they make sure that the team honors that, and boom, 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 Colin Kaepernick. And they, you know, they work out, they on their thing. Shit, I feel like when your boy Tom Brady stopped playing, he's gonna be vegan if he's not already vegan. I know he's close to it. He's, you know, this dude. So people understand what this is, and they understand the fallacy behind what the meat is. And I'm telling you, go do the research. You know, that little food pyramid that you was taught is a fallacy. That's strictly game to get you so indoctrinated that you will totally pay for those 4 food groups to make sure the corporations that represent those General Mills and all them, they get fat checks every year off of your mentality. They don't have to show you no commercials. You just think that that's what healthy is. You know what I mean? So, you know, think peep game, really.
Okay, with that being said, any advice for people that are looking to go into this lifestyle? What would be the advice?
Advice is, you know, just be you. Be what it is. Like you're going into it. Call it a lifestyle. Deal with the word life at the beginning of it. Lifestyle in that sense, as a metaphor. You know, look at it as like a lifestyle, not as a lifestyle. Lifestyle. Like look at it as a life versus death style. Do it like that. So yeah, in that way, look at that lifestyle, and that's all you. If you capture it in those terms, in that dichotomy, life, death, and you want to choose the lifestyle, then that's directly correlated with a plant-based diet. If you want to choose a death style, then you know, I ain't fronting. This food tastes great. I used to love eating the Popeyes and all that. The taste of it, I'll kill that. But do you realize what that is? I don't even know if that shit is chicken anymore. Like, you know, so it's like it's a death style, totally. Your cells are gonna, you know, all that. Those saturated fats and all that stuff that you know, you need the mono, you need the polyunsaturated, you need the good stuff, because that stuff is just gonna kill you, man. It really is gonna kill you. And I'm not even getting into eugenics and all the population control movements, you know, the Gates of the world and the Warren Buffetts and the Ted Turners and, you know, all these people out here who really trying to create population control and through food in the hood. You buy the 99-cent Happy Meal, and all that food in there is killing your baby before they get to puberty, delaying their sperm and all kind of craziness. So, you know, I'm gonna live a lifestyle, not a death style. So.